Dear one, you've been sitting in the quiet for a while now. Not the peaceful kind, the heavy kind. The kind that settles in when you've locked the door behind you and decided it's safer not to answer anymore. Beloved, there's something gentle I want to ask you. Did you hear it? That soft sound just at the edge of your awareness, not demanding, not pounding, not the kind of noise that forces its way in. Just a quiet tap, patient, waiting. I know why you didn't answer right away. You've opened the door before, hopeful, only to find more hurt standing on the other side. More disappointment dressed up as opportunity. More promises that crumbled the moment you trusted them. More people who said they cared and then walked away when caring got complicated. So you stopped answering. You stopped checking. It felt like wisdom. And maybe, in some situations it was. Not every voice calling for your attention deserves access to your heart. Not every offer is genuine. Not every invitation is safe. Dear heart, I'm not here to tell you that your caution was wrong. I'm here to tell you that the sound you just heard, that one was different. You've gotten so used to noise. Loud voices demanding entry. Urgent knocking that feels more like an assault. People who won't take silence for an answer. Who push and prod until you give in just to make it stop. That's not what this was. This was the kind of sound you could almost miss if you weren't listening. A tap, almost polite in its restraint. Precious one, that was me. I've been here for a while, standing outside the door you closed, waiting to see if you'd notice. Not because I'm playing games with you, not because I want to make you work for my presence, but because I will not force myself into a space where I'm not wanted. I know you're tired. Tired of opening up only to be let down. Tired of hoping only to be disappointed. Tired of trusting only to be proven wrong again. You've learned that sometimes the safest thing to do is keep everything locked tight. And sweet soul, I understand that more than you know. But here's what I need you to hear. The door you closed to keep out the pain, it also locked out the very thing you've been longing for. Not because you meant to, not because you wanted to be alone forever, but because when you've been hurt enough times, it gets harder to tell the difference between what will harm you and what will heal you. So you stopped answering altogether. Safer that way, or so it seemed. If no one gets in, no one can hurt you. If you don't hope, you can't be crushed. If you don't open your heart, it can't be broken again. My child, I won't tell you that logic is entirely wrong, but I will tell you this. The heart that locks itself away for safety also locks itself away from love. And you were made for love. Not the kind that uses you, not the kind that takes and never gives, not the kind that shows up loud and leaves quietly when you need it most. Real love. The kind that waits outside your door with more patience than you've ever known. The kind that doesn't break down barriers, it waits for you to open them. Did you hear the sound? Maybe you thought it was nothing. Maybe you convinced yourself it was just the wind, or your imagination, or wishful thinking playing tricks on you. But somewhere inside you felt it, didn't you? A stirring, a small flutter of something you thought you'd buried for good. Hope. And that scared you, because hope has hurt you before. Hope told you things would get better and they didn't. Hope told you this person was different and they weren't. Hope told you to try again and you ended up more broken than before. So you've learned to silence it, to ignore that flutter, to dismiss the stirring as dangerous. Beloved, what if this time is different? Not because I'm asking you to be reckless. Not because I'm telling you to fling the door wide open to anyone and everyone who comes along, but because the one standing outside right now is not like the ones who hurt you. I don't come with demands. I don't come with conditions that shift the moment you fail to meet them. I don't come with love that runs out when you're too much, or not enough, or just plain difficult. I come with something you've never fully experienced from anyone else. Love that stays. And I'm not in a hurry. I know you need time to process, time to decide, Time to work through the fear that wraps itself around your heart every time you think about opening up again. Beloved family, these messages are not just videos. They are prayers reaching hearts. If you feel led to help us continue this work, the support link is in the description and comment box. Your support helps keep this light shining. Dear heart, take all the time you need. I'll still be here. You don't have to rush to the door. You don't have to pretend you're ready when you're not. Steep your other delay. You don't have to perform confidence to prove you're worth my presence. I'm not going anywhere. That gentle sound you heard, it wasn't a one-time offer with an expiration date, it was an invitation. And invitations from me don't come with a timer. They don't get rescinded because you took too long to respond. They don't disappear because you hesitated. Sweet soul, the door is still yours to open, or not. But I want you to know I'm still here. Sometimes you wonder if you've waited too long. If maybe I got tired of waiting and moved on to someone less complicated, less guarded, less broken. Someone easier to love. Precious one, that's not how this works. You are not a burden to me. Your hesitation doesn't exhaust my patience. Your fear doesn't make me regret coming. Your walls don't make me wish I'd chosen someone else. I knew what I was walking into when I approached your door, and I came anyway. Because what you see as damage, I see as a heart that's been through a lot and still hasn't given up entirely. What you see as walls, I see as protection you needed when no one else would protect you. What you see as too much, I see as exactly who I came to find. My child, you've been alone in there for so long, and part of you has gotten used to it. You've learned how to manage on your own. You've learned how to numb the loneliness. You've learned how to convince yourself that solitude is strength. But late at night, when the distractions fade and the noise settles, you feel it, don't you? The ache. The hollow space that was never meant to stay empty. The part of you that still longs for someone to truly know you and not walk away. For someone to see the mess and stay anyway. For someone whose presence doesn't feel like a threat but like coming home. That's why I'm here. Not to lecture you about your isolation. Not to shame you for protecting yourself. Not to force you into vulnerability before you're ready. I'm here because I know what you've been missing, and I want to give it to you. But beloved, I can't give it to you through a closed door. I can speak to you through it, and I have been. I can wait beside it, and I will keep waiting. But there are some things that only happen in closeness. Some gifts that can only be given when you allow me in. I'm not talking about perfection. You don't have to clean up first. You don't have to have your life together. You don't have to pretend the inside of your heart looks anything other than how it actually looks. Messy, tangled, maybe even broken in places. Dear heart, I've seen it all already, and I'm still here. The question isn't whether you're good enough. The question is whether you're willing to crack the door open even just a little and let me in. Not all at once. Not with some grand gesture of total surrender. Just a crack. Just enough to see my face. Just enough to hear my voice without the barrier between us. Because here's what I know about you. You're braver than you think. You've survived things that would have destroyed others. You've kept going when everything in you wanted to quit. You've protected yourself when no one else would. And now, the bravest thing you can do is risk opening again. Not to just anyone. To me. The one who won't exploit your vulnerability. The one who won't use your openness against you. The one who has been waiting with more patience than you can fathom for this exact moment. When you finally decide that maybe, just maybe, it's safe to let me close. Loved one, I know you've heard voices before that sounded trustworthy and turned out not to be. I know you've been fooled. I know you've been manipulated by people who said all the right things and did all the wrong ones. So I'm not asking for blind faith. I'm asking for a small step, a tentative movement toward the door, a willingness to test whether what I'm saying is true. You don't have to throw it wide open. You don't have to invite me into every room at once. Just the first one. Just enough to start. Because here's what happens when you do. You'll find that I'm not like them. I don't rush. I don't push past boundaries. I don't make myself at home in spaces you haven't offered. I wait for your invitation, step by step, room by room. And in that first space, that first vulnerable opening, you'll begin to feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Safety. Not the false safety of isolation, not the brittle safety of control, but the deep, settled safety that comes from being truly known and truly loved anyway. Sweet soul, that sound you heard, it wasn't random. It wasn't an accident. It was intentional, specific, personal. I came to your door, not the door of someone who has it all together, not the door of someone who's easy to love. Your door, because I want you. Not a polished version of you, not a future version that's healed and whole and shining. The you that's sitting there right now, behind that locked door, wondering if anyone could ever really want in. That's the you I'm here for. And I'm not here to fix you like you're some broken thing that needs to earn the right to be loved. I'm here to be with you, in the mess, in the fear, in the slow, uncertain process of learning to open up again. Precious one, you don't have to do this alone anymore. I know that feels almost too good to be true. You've been let down so many times that good news feels suspicious. Kindness feels like a trap. Gentleness feels like manipulation. I understand, and I'm not offended by your doubt. Doubt is honest. It's what happens when you've been hurt by promises that turned out to be lies. So doubt me if you need to. Test me. Take your time. But while you're deciding, just know this, the offer stands. Did you hear the sound? Maybe you're still sitting there, listening, trying to decide if it's worth the risk. My child, I can't make that decision for you. I won't force open what you've closed, but I can tell you what's on the other side if you choose to turn the handle. Connection. Not the shallow kind that disappears when things get hard. The deep kind. The kind where you can be fully yourself and find that you're fully loved. The kind where your pain doesn't scare me away. The kind where your questions are welcome. The kind where your anger is safe. The kind where your doubt doesn't disqualify you. Peace. Not because all your problems vanish, but because you're no longer carrying them alone. Because there's a presence with you that doesn't shift with circumstances. Because you have a place to rest that doesn't depend on your performance. Hope. Not the fragile kind that shatters easily. The resilient kind. The kind that's rooted in something bigger than your feelings. The kind that doesn't demand immediate proof because it's connected to someone who's proven faithful over and over. The kind that can hold space for your pain while still believing in what's ahead. Beloved, all of this is waiting, just on the other side of that door, not far away, not in some distant future when you've finally gotten your act together. Right here, right now. So I'll ask again, gently, with no pressure, only love. Did you hear it? That soft sound, that quiet invitation, that gentle presence that won't go away but also won't force its way in. If you heard it, even just barely, that's enough to start with. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be certain. You just need to be willing. Willing to take one step toward the door. Willing to place your hand on the handle even if it shakes. Willing to open it just an inch and peek out to see if what I'm saying is true. Dear heart, that's all I'm asking. Not a leap, just a step. Not blind trust, just a willingness to see. Not total surrender, just a crack in the door. And if you do, if you take that one small scared step, you'll find me still standing there. Not with judgment for how long it took, not with impatience for your hesitation, but with the same gentle love that brought me to your door in the first place. I'll be smiling, not in a triumphant way like I won some contest, but in the way someone smiles when they've been waiting a long time to see someone they love, and that person finally appears. Relief, joy, tenderness. And then, if you let me, I'll step inside. Carefully, respectfully, only as far as you invite. And sweet soul, everything will begin to shift. Not all at once. Not in some dramatic moment where all your pain vanishes, but slowly, like dawn breaking, like ice melting, like a heart that's been closed for so long, learning bit by bit that it's safe to open again. So listen, quiet yourself for just a moment. Push past the noise of fear and the static of doubt. Can you hear it? That gentle sound, it's still there. I'm still here, waiting, hoping, loving you from this side of the door, but longing to love you from the inside. My child, the choice is yours. It always has been. I won't manipulate it. I won't guilt you into it. I won't threaten you if you choose to stay closed. But I will stay, because some things are worth waiting for, and you, dear heart, are one of them. So take your time, and when you're ready, even if ready just means scared but willing, turn the handle. I'll be right here. Not far, never far, just a door's width away, waiting for the moment when you decide to let love in again. Amen. Beloved family, your support is more than help. It is faith in action. Because of you, these messages continue to reach hearts. May the Lord bless you, guide you, and stand with you in every season.